All right, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Henry, and welcome back to another market update. So I'm going to start this off by calling out Mob. I'm not going to spend any time on this. I'm just going to call it out, okay? This is something I got in. My average is 520, and it's not that. It is this one. The average is 520, and by the way, we also have Jay-Z coming out tomorrow, and the underwriter of that is AMTD. So, yeah, shout out to that one tomorrow as well. So, like, I don't know if you just want to watch it. I don't think I'll be playing it unless it dumps because, like, guys, I'm playing this one. And I only got like 300 shares right now, but that's what I'm advocating for. Okay, like, this is a gamble. All right, I don't think it's going to come back down under 4 unless they do hit it with dilution. But I already did go over the Gov Edgar, and I didn't find any red flags on there. So I mean, I'm with it. And when I saw that, that is when I added more because I'm like, okay, this thing actually has a chance to run hard. Okay, normally IPOs do not like, if they IPO down here at 10 to 20 mil market caps, they normally open at like fucking $50. All right, this one did not. Okay, this one opened like pretty much right where it started at, and I think that's because I don't think you were able to buy the warrants on Webull. I don't know. Okay, I just didn't see anything until it was like actually out today on Webull. Luckily I came across that someone in the I think it was on Twitter. I found someone that was shouting out Mob as a new IPO, and I caught it like literally on the second candle right here at 412. But yeah, I got an average of 520, and I'm just shouting this one out because I think this one has potential to, like, this is a potential 5 to 10x bagger. Okay, you see all like a lot of these other IPOs with way larger market caps running. I think this one has a solid chance of I mean, I'm not going to throw any price targets out, but hey, I mean, I'm taking my profits at 100%. I'm going to take 50%. Excuse me. And I'm going to let the other half ride, and if I get a clean 10k out of this, I'll be a very happy camper if this thing decides to go to 50 to 100 bucks. So just calling it out. Now we're going to exit that out, and we're going to get into the actual analysis. All right, we'll just keep that there just to keep an eye on it. All right, so start off with the daily chart. Okay, and we can actually, you know what, we'll start off with the hourly chart. Okay, we'll go over what we called out yesterday, which was the bullish divergence. We said that a bounce was probable. Okay, we said like this action yesterday was probable because of this that we called out. Okay, and it's still signaling like, hey, you're probably going to be going higher, and it's just because, hey, look at the VIX. You still got this gap fill. You have not filled it yet. You're pretty close. The hedge, it gave me a little extra cheddar. I will shout out Sebastian because I did also play his calls. Okay, he did end up calling out calls. So I did play those at the end of the day yesterday, and that was a few extra grand as well as my hedge. That was pretty fire. All right, so I mean, all in all, yeah, no, I actually I have more money now than I did when I originally took the VIX profits and entered the hedge. And yeah, I mean, everything worked out. I can't, like, I'm definitely gonna say that, like, I'm gonna take credit for half of that, okay, because of trade management, and then the other half I'm gonna say, hey, Sebastian, guardian angel right there. I'm serious, guys. Go pay for your own mentor. Okay, I'm serious. If you want Sebastian to be that guy, go fucking pay for him. Okay, he treats the platinum members well. Okay, we have constant trades coming in. They're just sprinkles on top. Whatever you get on this channel, just realize, like, I treat these as sprinkles on top. Okay, so I take my own trades. Okay, he doesn't do all this risky shit that I will be calling out here on this channel. Like a lot of these micro floaters, these micro caps, high short interest plays. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I call out way more than Sebastian ever will. Okay, that's not his interest. His main focus is in the indices. Why do you think I'm so focused on the indices? Well, that's what he taught me. All right, and that's what I have also found to continuously work. All right, but yeah, do what I do with these guys. Have your own separate account where you could just, participate in these guys. I got 3 accounts. Okay, you got the investment, you got these ones, the share plays, and then you got your your trading account. And I mean, you don't have to do that, but that's what I like to do, and it just allows me to partake in these. It's the money just sits there unless there's one of these things going on. So I'm just saying, guys, that'll make it so you don't feel the need to put too much into this, I guess, because, like, I mean, at least it's for me, my trading account is bigger than this account currently. I would be very happy if I got a clean 10k out of this. I don't know if it's going to happen, but the float on this thing is so low that, I mean, it's just very likely to go. It really is. But yeah, going back to the analysis, we're going to go over the daily analysis. All right, we did call out that bullish divergence on the hourly time frame on the CCI. And we said that was signaling to go up, and we also said that the VIX gap was likely to fill. Okay, we didn't really care if it filled before or after. Okay, but yeah, okay, I do believe tomorrow we're probably going to fill the gap. Why would the VIX come all the way back down here for it not to fill the gap? It is so close to it. It got so close today to filling that gap, 3% away. Let's see if it were to close right here. How close are we? 7%. Okay, let's have another update on the indices. And as you see, we have this gap resistance that's playing out here, and that's just gap resistance. Just it doesn't want to fill the gap. It's going to act as resistance. That's all it is. All right, but yeah, you got very close to filling that bad boy as well. So I'm just saying it's very likely that we will be Bash calls it a knee-jerk reaction around like the Fed and all this shit. I refer to it as, hey, the Powell Pump. Okay, the Powell Pump, I mentioned it the other day in my video when we talked about the Jackson Hole. We had a longer video talking about that, talking about the possibilities that could be happening, and realistically, like what is going to what is probably going to be happening. Okay, that the market is just overlooking. Most of the market is overlooking, which is, hey, dude, I mean, maybe they do a surprise interest rate hike. Maybe they just sound very fucking hawkish, okay? Like, I mentioned that Powell was saying at lower levels that we are at elevated levels, and now we're higher than those elevated levels. So now we're double as elevated, okay? We are way more elevated. So he's probably going to come out saying hawkish things, and you have like a decent amount of time before this, the FOMC meeting over here, September 1. So I'm just saying, if they're going to get hawkish and they want to control this thing before, or attempt to try and start controlling this thing before over here, before a month goes by and it gets like a decent amount worse, they're probably going to say something over here. I'm just saying, okay? But at the same time, they could be very bullish, and your oscillators are literally down here in the oversold territory. And we are expecting our oscillators at some point on the daily time frame to head back up and match these weekly oscillators, or we're going to get something like this, and it is going to be like this. We're going to stay down here with our oscillators, and we are going to have, like, this would be the equivalent of tomorrow. We're going to go up, and then you're going to have your dump, and that's what I think. Ultimately, I think that is what is likely to happen. I think that is kind of what the TA is suggesting with this VIX gap fill. I mean, we do have our targets on the board. Like this, guys, this wedge means something, okay? There's now a target on the board, and it like probably will be hit. That is the point of only going by Bukowski's exact targets. It's it's very probable to hit. So I don't care, like, if we even come a little further down than the gap fill and then rock it, like, it's going to happen. And it's probably not going to be too long. Like, as you see, when it breaks the coiling pattern, it doesn't take too long. And maybe we're doing something like this, where we went up, or come back down, or how far did we go up? Yeah, maybe it was something like this, where we gapped up here. You came down and touched the trend line. Okay, maybe we form a new trend line. Like, maybe it's going to be something like this. I don't know. And maybe we come down and we fill the gap right there, and then spikes up, and this is where we catch it, and we spike up again, then we break it and have a whole nother VIX cycle that we get to play again. I don't know, okay? I'm not a fortune teller, but I am saying that it's probable that buyers on the VIX will step in when this gap fills, okay? And at the same time as that gap's filling, you have sellers that probably will be stepping in over here. Now, you don't have to do that. Like I said, your oscillators are in the oversold region, all right? And if you're in this oversold region, that just means, like, you have room to move up. That's how I see it. Like, if you were to advance, break out from a resistance while your oscillators are up here, it's exactly what I was saying here. Like, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's probably going to keep going. We told you guys down here, or I told you guys down here, this was a short squeeze rally. We're probably going to see the biggest short squeeze rally that we've seen this whole bear market, and probably that we've seen a bit, like, that I've ever witnessed, okay? And that's exactly what we got, guys. Look at the damn, like, guys, I said this was a possibility. This was on the table. Us coming up here to this resistance. Do you see how, like, this is a 330 resistance right here, guys? Like, holy shit. This was a prediction we made way back when, and it actually came true, okay? But it was 100% based off of TA, which we are using now, which means, hey, guys, we're probably going to be able to predict the future without a crystal ball moving forward, okay? But yeah, okay, all the oscillators, they were here, over here. You were getting your divergences. I'm just saying, you now have that same situation over here. You didn't cross up, but you started getting buying pressure right as the RSI was bouncing off of 50. Okay, that is, like, that's bullish in my opinion. Okay, But again, like I said, the VIX is pointing towards we're going to fill the gap. We're probably going to rock it. All right. So maybe we come up and fill this gap here. Maybe these oscillators, maybe we have a nice stick day and then they turn down also at the same day. We come down, maybe we form a divergence. Okay. Maybe that's exactly what happens. Okay. Maybe we form a lower low here. Oh, I just can't see that happening. We're like so high up here. Yeah, actually, I don't think a divergence here on the CCI stochastic is probably what's going to be happening. Maybe on the stochastic, but not the CCI. Let's see about the QQQ. No, probably not either. I don't know. But yeah, I think the most likely thing that's going to be happening tomorrow is the VIX going to come down and fill that gap, which means SPY is going to be going up to fill this gap right here at this green line, 421.22. And then, yeah, I think it's likely that you probably get some hawkish, either a hawkish sounding Fed or you get some hawkish news from the Fed. Okay, it's one or the other that I think is going to happen. I think you're probably going to move down. You haven't been moving down. Like here, like we have targets on the board and like they weren't even close to being hit. Like we still have this gap fill. You think we're just going to rally without coming back to ever fill this gap fill? Probably not. The longer this is on the table, the riskier it is to play the upside. That's how I see it. That's why like VIX was scaring me the other day when we had this gap fill. Why do you think I took the profits and then like got emotional? I was like, oh, I don't want to miss the move. Got back in. Well, yeah, I took the profits because of like that was the right thing to do. My emotions got me back in the trade. Luckily, I added the hedge. Then also got the calls and everything ended up working out. All right. But all in all, yeah, it's likely that VIX is going to fill this gap. That means SPY is going to fill its gap and it's likely going to be reversing. All right. And we can go over the hourly chart and see if we are noticing any bearish divergence on the hourly time frame. And yes, we actually have a triple bearish divergence as we speak on the stochastic, on the CCI. I guess we call it just right there. Right there. I guess it's not. Well, yeah, it is. I mean, you're just triple topping here while you're completely going down there. Yeah, I mean, I guess on stochastic, you're also having it there. So I guess you're not really seeing too much. I can't really say for certain this is a bearish divergence, but I mean, at the same time, it kind of is. I mean, there's really no denying it. You are making the lower lows here while you're making the same highs here. I guess, yeah, it is bearish divergence. And there are different types of bearish divergence. I don't think they go by classes, but I remember on Bukowski's website, there are like 2 or 3 different classifications of bearish divergences. And this would, I forgot which one this was, but one is stronger than the others. And I don't think this is it, but I think this still is a bearish divergence is what I'm getting at. All right. But yeah, so 15-minute time frame, you actually see it a lot clearer here. And you obviously have that in stochastic, but stochastic doesn't really go into these extreme levels like the CCI does. So it's not really good at calling out those divergences. And as I've explained in the past in this channel about the CCI is pretty much just like the historical price index. If you were to take that exact amount of buying and selling pressure, what in the past, out of all days in the past, every single candle, that amount of buying pressure, what is it going to do? What is the average of all of those days going to be doing to this? Like what this represents what price should be doing. So that's why divergences do end up forming on it so often. That's why it's been so useful for us. But yeah, guys, you did make this lower high, which, I mean, hey, maybe we end up pulling back going into close and we break this ascending trend line here. Maybe, okay? But at the same time, you also have this. And I think it's more likely that you keep pushing, okay? I think it's more likely that they get this thing over the out of the way. And then, because I think Powell is speaking at like 10 a.m. tomorrow, and I could actually be completely wrong about that. But yeah, okay, whenever Powell does speak, I advise you guys to go, look that up whenever time it is. I'm going to be doing it after this video. So I know, because there's probably going to be a knee-jerk reaction whenever that happens, and then we're probably going to get that sell-off that I have been talking about that is likely the past few days. Like, it is likely that they're probably going to start acting hawkish because the market is up here, the wealth effect. Inflation's not going down, like, all around the world. Like, all these countries are getting fucked. The U.S. is probably also going to be fucked. All right, that's what I said in yesterday's video. Look at that. Mob has tanked. Look at that. Okay, I might get a chance to be adding more. I think that's literally just a trend line break. Like I said, I don't think dilution is on the table here. But yeah, I do think once this thing, like tomorrow comes around, I think Zip Trader is going to have this on his morning briefing. And I think once this thing actually, like, hey, say this thing runs up 100%, like comes up to $10, people are going to probably start saying, oh, psychological number, okay? And holy shit, it's going, look at the market cap. They're going to think it's low when it's at a 30 mil market cap. I was like, guys, I thought it was low when it was a 10 mil market cap. You're buying in late. And then, yeah, I'm going to sell to those FOMO buyers, all right? And yeah, if you guys are participating in this, so should you guys. You guys should take advantage of dips if you're going to be entering this play. I don't advise just like buying in when it's at the top. Okay, like we have this pattern that we drew out. Look what happened. You had this ascending pennant, and normally probability says these are going to break up. That broke down. All right. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We are talking about this. But yeah, guys, we are expecting pretty much what we already talked about. Okay, I mean, there's really nothing else to be talking about. The VIX is going to come down and fill its gap. I don't really care if it goes a little further. I'm still expecting we're probably going to go back to being violent on the VIX. And yeah, that's what I'm going to be. I'm going to probably actually, I'm going to throw more money than I had before into VIX calls. And I'm going to be very excited to do so. But as long as I get to buy on that gap fill. All right, guys, with that being said, I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.